that Bernard has sought the guidance of the Jarkov family in his unprecedented effort to raise the mammoth has forged a bond between the Frenchman and the nomads. Gennady shares his craft with Bernard, a harness collar he's worked out of mammoth ivory. It's valuable and will last.
These are things we make according to our traditional customs. Mammoth bones and tusks are very old, and they can be passed from one generation to another. The tusks that are not smooth break into pieces after 10 or 15 years. But if they are in good condition, they can last for a very long time. I inherited these from my mother. They were made 40 years ago, and they look as if they were still new.
The ivory from an Ice Age mammoth is what brought the Dulgan and the explorer together. Now it binds them in a journey back through time. Shouldering the huge tusk of the mammoth they found, the Dulgans moved toward the dig site. Today, these tusks will be reunited with their owner. With the Jarkovs present, they'll be reattached to the block to empower the mammoth on his flight into the future.
For me, this Jarkov mammoth is a symbol, and the symbol works with the tusk. It was a kind of respect for me to show him in his best light.
Gone from the earth for 10,000 years now, the mammoth lives on in the eye of the hunter. Pursued for sustenance, revered, and etched in ancient stone, the giant of the Ice Age helped our ancestors to survive. Week 4. The site is hit with the first major storm of the season. It's hard to hear above the roar of the winds, and the snow has begun to swirl in drifts around the tents at an alarming rate. But there's no turning back now. Refusing to fold to the Arctic's icy hand, Bernard and his team push on. It's the coldest day yet on the tundra, but they're too close to their goal to give up. Led by Bernard and anchored by Boris, the men make their way under the block, centimeters at a time. An unlikely group of mammoth hunters. Each of the men is now linked in his own way to the creature from another age. Shouting encouragement over the cacophony of wind and power tools, they punch their way through the permafrost. A month ago, none would have predicted that they would press on in conditions so extreme, not even Boris.
It's terrible when you have something that becomes concrete and you want to work more, and suddenly nature is much more strong than you. And this wind started to blow stronger and stronger. Everything was going in all directions. It became crazy and very noisy.
Long into the night, the tempest rages on. But the men have won this round in the battle against the elements. Or have they? It takes a half day to shovel out snowdrifts 2 meters deep.
I became a little bit crazy with this storm because I decided that, of course, he's more strong than me, but I will not give up. Even if he brings each night cubic meter and cubic meter of snow to throw out, we will not stop all this process. It was a kind of pleasure to show to the wind that we were more determined. Of course, all of this takes a lot of time, but the time was on my side, because I understand that all my team, when they saw that I have so much energy to put in this, will follow me until we make the complete excavation of the mammoth.
It's time to begin the assembly of a steel frame that can hold the massive block. But it's stop and go with tools that rebel against the cold. Once they're sized, the plan is to run 3 bars under the mammoth carcass and weld them to cross beams. They'll dig under the block, insert the beams, and chip out the ledge it rests on, once it's ready to fly. The tunnel under the block has been coming along slowly, but at last, and just about right on schedule, Boris powers his way through. For the first time in 10,000 years, the mammoth will rise free of its tomb. But whether it's light enough to be lifted is another matter. After all their efforts, the men are curious. Expedition coordinator Christian de Marliov conducts an experiment, balancing melted permafrost and water to calculate the density of the block. Factoring density and volume should tell them how much the block weighs.
Boris has some security question. He's afraid a little bit that the block can move.
This could be a major problem.
Explain to him that this piece of iron will not support the block. Only. There will be 3 other pieces where the support will be transversal on the other part. Until we have not installed the 3 other pieces, or 2 other pieces, we don't take out ground from this place. We will take the ground of this place after we have put this 3. We can work, I think, without any problem of security on the both sides of the block. After we put the other one, потом можно еще security 2 block, 2 pieces of wood. To be sure, and only 1 hour before the takeoff of block by the helicopter, we will cut the extremity. Нету. Не работа. Так.
Bernard